200 Truth Seekers. Welcome to 200 Truth Seekers. Kindly like and subscribe our channel. Visit our website at www.200truthseekers.blogspot.com. The power of prayer. This is a talk about the power of prayer. All religions believe in the power of prayer, but few people understand the mechanics of the process. Few people understand why prayers work for some and seemingly never for others. Most Westerners believe that people in the East either pray to a graven image or do not pray at all. Both statements are untrue. I am going to tell you now how you can remove prayer from the realms of mysticism and superstition and use it to help others. For prayer is a very real thing indeed. It is one of the greatest forces of this world when used as it was intended to be used. Most religions have a belief that each person has a guardian angel or someone who is looking after that person. That also is true. But the guardian angel is oneself, the other self. The other self which is at the other side of life. Very, very few people can see this angel, this guardian of theirs whilst upon the earth, but those who can are able to describe it in detail. This guardian, we must call it something, so let's call it guardian, has not a material body such as we have on earth. It appears to be ghostly. Sometimes a clairvoyant will see it as a blue scintillating figure larger than life size and connected to the flesh body by what is known as the silver cord. That cord which pulses and glistens with life as it conveys messages from one to the other. This guardian has not a body such as that of earth, but it is still able to do the things which the earth body can do, with the addition that it can do very many more things which the earth body cannot. For example, the guardian can go to any part of the world in a flash. It is the guardian that does astral traveling, and relays back to the body through the silver cord that which is needed. When you pray to yourself, to your other self, to your guardian. And if we knew properly how to pray, we could send those prayers through the silver cord, because the connection we use now is like a telephone line, which is a very faulty line indeed, and we have to repeat ourselves in order to make sure that the message gets through as we intended. So, when you pray, speak as you would speak through a very long-distance telephone line. Speak with absolute clarity and actually think of what you are saying. The fault, I should add, lies with us here on this world, lies with the imperfect body we have on this world. The fault is not in our guardian. Pray in simple language, making sure the requests are always positive and never negative. Having carefully framed your prayer to be absolutely positive and to be absolutely clear of any possibility of misunderstanding, repeat that prayer perhaps 3 times. Let us have an example. Suppose for instance you have a person who is ill and suffering, and you want to do something about it. You should pray for the relief of that person's suffering. You should pray 3 times saying exactly the same thing each time. You should visualize that shadowy figure, that insubstantial figure actually going to the house of the other person, following the route which you would yourself follow, entering the house and laying hands on that person, and so effecting a cure. I will return to this particular theme in a moment, but first let me say that you should repeat that as many times as are necessary, and if you really believe, then there will be an improvement. This matter of a complete cure, well, if a person has a leg amputated, no amount of prayer will replace it. But if a person has cancer, or any other grave disease, then that can be halted. Obviously, the less the seriousness of the complaint, the easier it is to effect a cure. Everyone knows of the records of miracle cures throughout this world, Lourdes and many other places. They are famed for their cures, and these cures are effected by the other self, by the guardian of the person concerned, in association with the fame of the locality, for constant thought about the locality builds up a very potent force. Lourdes is known throughout the world as a place of miracle cures. So, people go there utterly confident that they will be cured, and they often are. That confidence is passed on to the guardian of the person, and so a cure is effected very, very easily. Some people like to think that there is a saint, or an angel, or some ancient relic of a saint that does the cure, but in reality, each person cures himself. And if a healer gets in touch with a person with the intention of curing that sick person, then a cure is only effected through the guardian of that sick person. It all comes down, as I told you before, to heal yourself, the real self, which you are when you leave this, the shadow life, and enter the greater reality. While upon this earth we all tend to think that this is the only thing that matters, but earth, this world, no. This is a world of illusion, a world of hardship, where we come to learn lessons not so easily learned in a kinder, more generous world to which we return. You may, yourself, have some disability, you may be ill, or you may lack the desired esoteric power, that can be cured. It can be overcome if you believe it can and if you really want it. Suppose you have a great desire, a burning desire to help others, you want to be a healer, then you in the seclusion of your private room, perhaps in your bedroom, should pray. You should rest in the most relaxed position that you can find, preferably with your feet together and your fingers interlinked, not in the usual attitude of prayer, but with your fingers interlinked. In that way you preserve and amplify the magnetic circuit of the body and the aura becomes stronger and the silver cord is able to convey messages more accurately. Then, having got yourself in the right position, and in the right frame of mind, you should pray. You could pray, for example, give me healing power that I may heal others, give me healing power that I may heal others, give me healing power that I may heal others. Then have a few moments while you remain in your relaxed position and picture yourself encompassed in the shadowy confines of your own body. As I told you before, you must visualize the route you would take to the sick person's house, and then make that body travel in your imagination to the home of the person you desire to heal. Picture yourself, your overself, arriving at that house, arriving in the presence of the person you desire to help. Picture yourself putting out your arm, your hand, and touching that person. Imagine a flow of life-giving energy going along your arm, through your fingers, into that other person like a vivid blue light. Imagine that that person is gradually becoming cured. With faith and a little practice, it can be done. It is done, daily. In the Far East it is commonplace. It is useful to place one's hand, in imagination, on the back of a person's neck and the other hand on, or over, the afflicted part. You have to pray to yourself in groups of 3 prayers a number of times each day until you get the desired result. Again, if you believe, you will get that result. But, let me issue a grave warning. You cannot increase your own fortune in this way. There is a very ancient occult law which stops one from profiting from prayers for self-gain. You cannot do this yourself unless it is to help others, and unless you sincerely believe that it will help others. I know of an actual case where a man who had a moderate income and was fairly comfortably off thought that if he won the Irish sweepstake he would help others, he would be a great benefactor of mankind. Knowing a little but not enough of esoteric matters, he made great plans of what he would do. He set out with a carefully prepared program of prayers. He prayed along the lines set out in this record, for it is true. He prayed that he would pick the winner of the Irish sweepstake. For 2 months, he prayed in groups of 3 prayers, 3 times a day, 9 prayers in all during each day, and as he fully anticipated, he won the Irish sweepstake. And he won one of the biggest prizes of them all. Eventually, he had the money and it went to his head. He forgot all about his good intentions, all about his promises, he forgot all about everything except that he had this vast sum of money and he could now do exactly as he wanted to do. He devoted the money to his own self-gratification. For a very few months he had a wonderful time during which he became harder and harder, and then the inexorable law came into force. And instead of keeping that money and helping others, he lost everything that he had gained, and everything that he had before. In the end, he died and was buried in a pauper's grave. I say to you, that if you use the power of prayer properly, without thought of self-gain, without thought of self-aggrandizement, then you have tapped the greatest power on earth. A force so great that if just a few genuine people got together and prayed for peace, then there would be peace. And wars and thoughts of wars would be no more. May the Spirit guide us all. Adios.